Welcome to the Produce Moms Podcast, where we believe there is a produce mom in all of us. I'm Lori Taylor, founder and CEO of the Produce Moms. For 10 years, I sold fresh produce to over 300 grocery stores in the U.S. And today, my team and I are fully focused on inspiring people to eat more fruits and vegetables. This show is just one of the ways that we hope to inspire you and your family to eat more produce and live a better life. If you like what you're hearing on the podcast, join our community of almost 40,000 in all 50 states and over 30 countries by visiting theproducemoms.com/subscribe. And be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes. Thanks for being here. Enjoy today's show. Welcome back, everyone. This is the Produce Moms Podcast. I'm Lori Taylor, and today we have a guest, a woman that I have just been admiring on LinkedIn, and I love her product line. I had the chance to first discover it, taste it, love it during one of my business trips in California. It is a true joy to welcome Julie Podolec. She is the co-founder and CMO of The Modern Pop. Y'all, this is plant-based with all the taste, a truly delicious non-dairy dessert. It's like the best popsicle on the market. So, Julie, it is so exciting to welcome you to today's show. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lori. You have no idea. We're so excited to be on the Produce Moms and be talking to you about the brand.
Yeah, no, thank you. So, like I said in the intro, Julie, the first time I tried your product was during a business trip to California. I enjoyed the strawberry lemonade, Modern Pop, and it's been love ever since. So, we got to tell your story, tell our listeners how you started this business.
Absolutely. So the Modern Pop, truly a company that came out of a need. I think that a lot of companies, start that way. At the time, I was a first-time mom, and I was looking to really find a clean label frozen fruit bar to help relieve my one-year-old son's teething pain. I mean, he was going bonkers. And I remember I went into all these natural and conventional grocery stores, and I left empty-handed. All the options kind of in the frozen aisle at this time were just total junk filled with water, sugar. And I just, as a mom, I would not allow myself to buy that for my child. So really, I went home at the time, and I remember I pulled out my old blender, and I did what any mom would do. You just get it done. You figure it out for your family. I really think that there's nothing in the world that drives us more than the ones we love, and we'll do anything we can, to figure it out. And so, we started creating these new versions of classic desserts, and that's really how the company emerged and evolved. We sold the bars out of a cold plate push cart in the beginning, but really kind of that need for something that was not there at the time drove us to kind of start and to start experimenting in the kitchen.
That's great. And just so our listeners know, there's a tag, it says in your brand logo, Modern Pop, established Laguna Beach, California. Is that where you live? Is that where are these flavors inspired by that culture? Tell us more about what California and specifically Laguna Beach means to you.
Absolutely. So Laguna Beach is obviously an amazing place. I and my husband, we originally are from the East Coast. And so I think instantly when we moved out here, which now, it's been about 8 or 9 years, but we were just our eyes were open. Everything was kind of bright and colorful and sunny and clean living, and everyone's outside all the time. And so,
can I cut you off for a second? That's exactly how I would describe the Modern Pop, what you just said. So I love that.
Yes. No, I am fully, and I think that coming not from California has made us kind of weave this California lifestyle and kind of experience within the brand. And that's something that I think a lot of people, when they're not living in California, that's what they want. They want to feel that, and they want to feel the sunshine and, the happiness. And it's something that, I think goes far beyond just the product. And, so that's something that we've kind of pulled within the brand.
Yeah, 100%. And it definitely, it's evident from the logo to the designs on the boxes to the flavors. And let's talk a little bit more about your flavors. I mean, your brand commitment, Julie, is fruit first. Obviously, that excites me as the founder of the Produce Moms. But explain this mantra and why fruit is the basis of Modern Pop.
Absolutely. So fruit first. So in other words, food first. So really when I was looking, in these frozen aisles, everything was water first. And then there was some fruit puree or, if you look at a lot of labels, even today, it's kind of like the last thing or the middle thing on your ingredient labels is the actual food. And so it's diluted down. And so fruit first is really a commitment to putting food first and real food. And I think, I read somewhere, I forget where, but fruit is actually a number 2 snack after chocolate. And I think that it's a very easy thing to say that most people, most kids, they love fruit. And so we've always thought, how can we take such a liked, kind of better for you, quote unquote, sweet, and how can we kind of reinvent and make it more fun? And so I'm super excited that Modern Pop, I can say, is the only fruit bar, and we're the only fruit bar line that uses whole IQF flash frozen fruit as a first ingredient across all of our bars.
Yeah, that is something. So it's not purees.
It's not even puree. So it's like an IQF, which is
individually quick frozen. Yeah. There's all sorts of taglines, but about what frozen, fruit is. It's picked and preserved at the peak of harvest is really what we want everyone to understand with the freezing process, and certainly a form of fruit and vegetable that's highly regarded and respected for everyone in the produce industry. You don't lose the integrity of the fruit when you freeze it, which is really important. And there's not all forms you can say that about. So that's great to learn, Julie. I actually didn't realize that. And a lot of folks that are doing, even a clean ingredient processed food, like what Modern Pop is, would probably not be utilizing the whole fruit the way you are. They would be choosing purees or other forms.
Yeah, and I think also, we don't use gums in our frozen fruit bars. And, some people say, oh, you have to use gums to withhold the texture and all of this stuff. Well, our purpose is really to be as close to homemade as we possibly can. So, our bars are 4 to 5 ingredients, and we've never had a problem. If there's some crystallization, it's natural. Just lick it off. It's okay.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love the clean ingredient, commitment to natural that you've established with the Modern Pop. I love how your son was a catalyst for your entrepreneurial journey. Like it's always thrilling to meet other moms that are, building their dream and their passion after being inspired by their own kids and their life as a mom. So tell us a little bit more. You mentioned there's, minimal ingredients. Tell us more about what's in your products, or maybe more importantly, what's not in your products.
Yes, I love it. So again, Modern Pop is really an alternative brand. This is how we think of the company, an alternative brand to full fat dairy desserts. And so, to be non-dairy, we've made a commitment to use no dairy in our products. And so, all of our products were vegan certified, we're non-GMO. And what we really believe is if we can take the building blocks of a traditional ice cream, so the building blocks of ice cream is dairy, fats, and sugar. And then if we can create somehow a plant-based version with no dairy, better for you fats, like an avocado, and lower sugar, we're doing something to move this category forward. And so, the plant-based with all the taste, it's really about, how can we recreate things, without animals? Like, how can you do it in a way where there's more nutritional value? And so that to us is really exciting.
Yeah, no, 100% it's exciting. And let's talk about your new product line. I mentioned at the top of the show, my love affair with Modern Pop. I was ushered in by the strawberry lemonade. Your other fruit product lines include pineapple, fruit punch, mango, like super classic flavors here as it relates to popsicle flavors. These are exactly what I would expect. I do think some of your your avocado based, the new product lines. I think these are really exciting for folks, especially folks that are, following a dairy-free diet, because tell us more.
Yes, definitely. So we started again with the fruit bar line. That was really out of a need. As we've kind of, been through the life cycle of the company, we've kind of always thought, how can we extend the line into something that's also more indulgent, but better for you, while keeping that fruit first kind of alternative. And so, how can we seed for growth? How can we do things differently? How can we move the ball forward? And so we really started thinking kind of outside of the box, where, people have, coconut-based ice cream, but, for me, coconut is polarizing. If you don't like coconut, which most people do, but if you don't like coconut, you wouldn't try a coconut-based ice cream. And then there's a lot of nut-based ice creams that are non-dairy, but those have been done as well. And if you have nut allergies, that becomes a problem. And so we started looking at fruit, and we had our innovation team play around with bananas, but banana to me is kind of, if you don't like banana, you don't like banana. So we wanted to create a base that was a neutral base that could then have your traditional ice cream flavors that you know and you love kind of wrapped around this muted base. And so we started playing with avocado, and avocado obviously is a fruit, but it's really, it's highly nutrient dense. It has kind of that creamy texture, and we use avocado and avocado oil. So it's not, so there's no real like aftertaste. And we came out with this traditional ice cream flavors like your mint chip, your chocolate, your cookies and cream. And we've decided, we wanted it to be not niche. We wanted it to be kind of that muted flavor profile so everybody could enjoy and love.
I love that. And I look forward to trying those. So let's talk a little bit about, I want to know where these products are available, but actually before you answer that, Julie, I want to know how long you've been doing this. Because to me, you've accomplished so much, like how many years how many years have you been doing this?
Yeah, well, our son is now almost 8, but we really went into commercialization, I'd say about 5 or 6 years ago. And, I feel like we're still students of the category. We monitor, we observe, we watch, and it's just such an incredible space to be in because it's constantly changing. And so I feel like, how do you seed for growth? Like, how can you be, how can you do things differently? How can you market more creatively? Also, we're a lot smaller than a lot of the brands that we sit next to, which, I think is a creative advantage. And that's why kind of I've utilized myself and our story, because I really think that's what differentiates the brand as well, is kind of,
there's a human element. No, there's a big human element, Julie, and it's you. No, it's amazing. So where can folks find it? What retailers, what states, where on your website can they go to learn where to purchase the Modern Pop?
Yeah, so I would mainly say West Coast right now. So we really are through Kroger. Kroger's been an amazing partner. We have probably the biggest selection of all of our fruit bars and avocado bars there on the West Coast. So Ralph's, Fred Meyer, King Super, Mariano's Market, QFC. And then we just launched our avocado-based bars into Sprouts Farmers Market nationally.
Nice.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
Great customer, and just, I definitely the right consumer. And Gelson's is exciting as well. So Gelson's will be launching shortly. But yeah, we're constantly really thinking about, where the product should be, where the consumer is looking for it. And, we'll continuously expand out from there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the day I can go to the Kroger that's a mile from my home here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and pick up a box of the Modern Pop. I know it's coming, Julie. This brand is just onward and upward from here. I know it because I've been watching, like I said, for at least a year, admiring your growth and your work on LinkedIn. And it's inspiring. You should be very proud.
Thank you. No, I mean, I think that the passion hopefully translates, and, it's really when you do something because you need it and because it's really for, that person that you love in the beginning. I mean, I think that there's a real desire to see it flourish into other families and other people, and, just to be able to be a player. I mean, I just feel so fortunate that we're in these supermarkets, we're in these outlets, and, we're on the playing field, and I'm ready to play.
Yeah, heck yeah, you are. You are ready. This is, and I hope for anyone that's listening, that's part of the food and beverage supply chain, take note of what's happening here with the Modern Pop. Like I said, this invitation to showcase Julie came after almost a year of watching what she was doing and admiring it and being inspired by it. This brand is on the rise, and the ingredients and the merch, just the design elements, which are so important. Labeling is so important with getting your product to pop off the shelf for consumers. Everything is just, it's the gold star. So,
Lori, thank you.
No, thank you. I love your product. All right. So that really brings us to the end of our show, Julie, which is sad because I could talk to you literally for hours. I love talking to founders, and the passion is just, it's just unparalleled when you get the person on the call and have a conversation with someone that, this is more than a product. This is your passion. You've dedicated, your life to building this. It's amazing. So that being said, we always let our guests have the final word on our show. So please, any closing thoughts that you might have, I want to make sure and tell all of our listeners, please go visit themodernpop.com. Make sure that you follow Julie on LinkedIn, connect with this brand on all the social media platforms. You're going to love what you see. It's an amazing product line. So Julie, that being said, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for being on the show, and please sign us off.
Yeah, absolutely, Lori. No, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having us on. And I just, obviously I love talking, and I love talking about the Modern Pop, but, to all the women entrepreneurs, I just, I have my own women entrepreneurs that I follow and I watch and I'm so inspired by. But I think, the more that we can support each other, and the louder, not necessarily loud through social media, but like the more you believe in yourself and get after your passion, and just keep moving forward. I always love to say no one is you, and that is your power. Nobody can hold you down. And, as long as you believe and are persistent, things will happen in time. So thank you again for having me on, and I just really appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Produce Moms Podcast. If you or someone you know would like to be a featured guest, just send an email to lori@theproducemoms.com. We know there is a produce mom in you because there's a produce mom in all of us. Join our community on Facebook and all social platforms. Help us change the way America eats. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.